Rushed to Rustenburg Hospital. I'm so worried this is going to end in amputation. And I remember looking at him, burst out laughing. And she looks at me and she says, "Go get your medal."
Hey everyone, and welcome back to SA's #1 health and wellness podcast, The Endure Edge. And as you can see, we are at an F45 functional fitness gym today in Bedford View. Thank you F45 for giving us the space. And downstairs happening in Bedford View is the G&T Wellness event. Guys, what an amazing event it is. The vibe downstairs is electric. It's noisy, there's DJs, they're doing yoga, they've got all these different vendors. The next event, check out G&T Wellness's page and come to their next event. Today's guest is a warrior. She is an inspiration. She has fought through adversity from a young age. Her name is Erin Lazarus.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. She's just come from a run, actually. And look how fresh she looks and beautiful she looks.
Thank you. I don't feel so fresh.
Okay, give us a secret. How do you come from a run and look so fresh?
Makeup.
Is it makeup? Erin, thank you for joining us. And I thought your story is amazing.
Thank you.
And I want to start off with you giving us the background of your story. Where did it start? How did it happen? Please.
Give you all the juicy details.
All the juicy details.
So yeah, it's nearly 4 years, which is crazy. So throughout about 2021, I was studying my honors degree. I was doing my honors in finance, and it just was one thing after the next. But what happened was the symptoms happened in isolation. So it would start off with my nails were very red, very dry. It almost looked like a nail fungus. That would then disappear within like 2 weeks. My hair would fall out, disappear, joint pain, terrible migraines, brain fog. I even remember I'd drive behind a car and I'd stare at a number plate and I'd have to tell my brain, okay, that is the letter M. Okay, M. It almost felt like there was a complete disconnect between what was going on in my brain and what I was seeing and what I was saying. And I went from doctor to doctor. I went for the blood tests, but because everything was coming individually, we're treating it individually. Anyway, by some miracle, I managed to finish exams and get my degree. I have no idea how. And I think it was my body's way of saying, okay, I've managed to keep it together, and now you're getting all of it at once. And it was 3-4 migraines a day. I remember I would make my bed, and I'd go and I'd do the one side, and I'd sit down for half an hour because I was just too exhausted to do anything.
And at this stage, you still had no idea what was going on?
Not a clue.
Okay.
I knew there was something wrong, but I also felt like the biggest drama queen because, my whole life, I've been athletic, I've been sporty, I've never ever been a complainer. And so now all of a sudden for the entire 2021 year, I was that girl going, "Mommy, this is sore. Daddy, I don't feel well. Mommy, help me. Sissy, come here." I was irritating myself. So everyone around me is thinking, this chick's a drama queen. What's going on? Just stop complaining for 4 seconds. Anyway, all these symptoms kind of hit all at once. And I knew deep down there was something wrong. But I tried to convince myself that there was nothing wrong. And it was something simple as taking a supplement, or just, I didn't want to believe something bigger could be wrong. And I went to the doctor, and I remember at that stage, my foot on the ball of my foot almost had this bruise on the side. And I remember it being sore, and the only thing that helped was massaging it. And I would wake up in the middle of the night to massage it, but I didn't really think much of it. I thought maybe I'd hurt myself at gym. Because actually, funnily enough, that morning I was in a gym class, and I've always been strong in a gym class, and I could keep up. And for the first time ever, I was now sitting down in the middle of this gym class.
Wow.
I literally, everyone jumping up and down, and I sat on my mat in the middle, and I just lay there. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. And I walked out and I said to my sister, "Something's up. I think I've got a virus." Anyway, I went to the doctor, and I remember I was rubbing and massaging my foot, which is the only thing that could help me in the doctor's rooms. And I said to him, listen, like, these are all my symptoms. This is what's going on. And he said to me, you've got anxiety, and it's manifesting in physical pain. I remember looking at him going like, can anxiety do that?
So basically stress.
Yeah, this is all stress. Like, no. So there was, I would say about 30% of me is going, okay, it's anxiety. Cool. I will now do whatever I need to do to get better. And hopefully it is that, because now I've got a diagnosis and all my pain's going to go away and I'm going to feel good again. There was a bigger side of me that's going, there's no ways. Like, I've seen people who suffer with anxiety, and I'm so lucky I'm not one of those people.
And this is not it.
This is not it. What's making me anxious is that I haven't got the right diagnosis. Anyway, days and days of just not feeling well. It was New Year's Day, the 1st of January, 2022. I was lying in the bath, and my mom was sitting in the bathroom watching me because I was so weak at that stage. And the bath tap's got like this big silver back, so it almost looks like a mirror.
Yes.
And I remember looking at it and going, I don't look okay. Like, my mouth had slanted, I couldn't see properly, I was slurring my words, and I was trying to tell my mom, call an ambulance, something's wrong. But it wasn't coming out, so that disconnect again. Apparently the ambulance arrived. Apparently I jumped on the bed like a bit of a mad woman, and I was stretching my calf out. Apparently I was awake chatting to the paramedics in the ambulance. I don't remember a thing. And I remember waking up at the hospital, and like all the doctors and the nurses and the paramedic, everyone's talking to me as if I'm awake, like I've been awake. But in my mind, I'd just woken up, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Again, you've had an anxiety attack, or the anxiety meds that were given to you previously are too strong, so we need to readjust. I remember thinking, okay, but I haven't got a drip. We haven't done blood tests. What's going on? And I remember the nurse at that hospital, she looked at my foot, which now had these like pink spots on top. And she said, that looks like Raynaud's disease, but worried about that. And the doctor arrived and said, no, super chill, don't stress about it. Here's your new prescription, off you go. I remember limping out the hospital like, what on earth just happened? Then we went away for my sister's birthday, and everyone was swimming, and I was too sore to swim, which I'm like the water baby on holiday. And all of a sudden, like, now I'm this couch potato almost, that like I did not have energy to do anything. But I stuck my feet in the pool, and the left one turned like black on top with these really gross blue blisters underneath. And like the only way I can describe that pain is almost like when you're playing with ice and you go numb but sore at the same time. I just remember screaming and shouting. I put on this like whole performance.
Which is understandable. Your foot's black.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the time, I mean, I remember the lifeguard came up to me. I was like, is everything okay? And I remember saying, no, don't worry, I'm fine. And like, I clearly wasn't fine. Anyway, I went down to the nurse thinking like, I need cortisone injection, a Voltaren. I did not know, but I know I needed something. And she looked at me, she wrapped my leg in a whole bunch of bandages, and whole story of like bandages up to my knee. And she said, please rush to Rustenburg Hospital. I'm so worried this is going to end in amputation.
What?
At the same time, my mom is outside phoning the physician saying like, this is what's happened. Here's a picture. What do we do? And the physician says, this is on a Tuesday, 4th of January. He says, come see me 6th of January. Please don't worry about it. It looks vascular. It's fine. And at this time, I'm getting vascular. I'm getting Raynaud's. I'm getting all these words I don't understand.
And no one's explaining them either.
No idea. But the nurse is panicking and the physician's calm. So in my mind, I'm going, amputation, like that can't happen to me.
Yeah.
These things don't happen. The physician's chilled. I'm chilled. What does the nurse know? Meantime, in both instances, at the hospital and at this resort where the nurse is telling me, go rush to the hospital, the nurses were both right.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Anyway, I went to go see the doctor. He looked at me, and at this stage, I had like really, really pink, rosy cheeks, which I've had since I was a baby. So normal. I thought maybe like it's a little itchy today. Maybe I've had like a reaction to all the painkillers I'm taking. And I mean, I was popping painkillers like it was nobody's business, anti-inflammatories and sure. And like, it was like taking Smarties, honestly. Like nothing was even touching sides. Went to him, looks at me, and he says, something here looks autoimmune. I'm going to do the tests. We'll go from there. Like, autoimmune? What's that? I know during COVID, people with autoimmunes were a little bit more at risk. But like, again, what's going on?
You just hear the word. You don't actually ever go see what the word means. Yeah.
And this physician was super chilled. And I'm thinking, awesome. Doctor's chilling, I'm chilling. What's there to stress around? Left that afternoon. Oh, then he did a scan of my leg. And he said, if I see you downstairs, we need to admit you. If I don't see you downstairs, you're good to go. He leaves. Don't see him again, so off we go. Everything's chilled, everything's fine. Let me tell you, that scan was one of the most painful things I think I've ever had in my life. And it's just meant to be like a roll with the ultrasound machine. It was just digging it into like each little nook and cranny on my leg. Anyway, next morning, my sister phones me. Hey, I'm a bit snotty, not feeling so great, going to go for a COVID test. She's just tested positive for COVID. I'm now snotty, sniffing, coughing. I go get a test. I've got COVID. Phone the doctor. Hi, doctor, I've got COVID. What do I do? No, don't worry. Also, we got your results back. You've got lupus. But don't Google anything. And I just remember this feeling of like, oh, yes, I wasn't crazy. Like, I've got a diagnosis. I have no idea what lupus means. I know Selena Gomez has lupus. She had a kidney transplant. What do we do now? And he just said to me, don't Google anything. Come see me on Monday. Went there on Monday. And this new doctor, she specializes in autoimmunes. She starts explaining, and the hemoglobin attacks this cell, and the beta cells do this. And I'm going, don't care. Don't know what you're talking about. My foot's black. It's really like I haven't slept in a week. Can we fix this now? Yes, you're going to take your medication. Here's your medication. We'll be fine. And I truly believed taking one pill would miraculously, my foot would be back to normal. Again, you don't think something like this can happen to you. And the next day, I was just really like, the pain was just too much for me to handle.
It's overboard.
Completely. And in my mind, the strongest painkiller is morphine. So, mommy, daddy, off we go. We go into the hospital. I need morphine. Apparently, they gave me morphine. I did not. It
didn't touch sides.
Didn't touch sides. I was that crazy person in the emergency going, ow, screaming, shouting. It's funny to think back to that. Anyway, they didn't, because I'd done a rapid test, they didn't want to put me in a COVID unit, and they didn't want to put me in the non-COVID unit. So they stuck me in this room all alone, petrified, in agony.
And no one can visit, no one can see you.
Meantime, my mom just had COVID, my dad just had COVID, my sister's got COVID. So can they not come and visit me and spend time with me? Anyway, I do think that probably made the experience a bit more traumatizing.
I can imagine. Yeah, not having your family around you.
Absolutely.
Or friends.
No, it was, and like now I look back at the messages I was sending my friends, and I'm like, I was sending the messages like, oh, don't stress, I'm absolutely fine.
But that's just who you are, obviously, yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, very long story short, the doctor arrived probably about 12 hours later. And she says, we'll pop you into ICU just to monitor your pain. Like, this ICU was just not it. I was in this like plastic sheet. And the nurse really was amazing. She was incredible. But the doctors were just like brushing off what was going on. Eventually, they sent me for a CT scan, and they said, you may have a blood clot. We're not sure. We don't have the facilities at this hospital, so we're going to transfer you to Mill Park. Thank goodness.
It's about time.
Yeah. A million times over, like, I am so grateful they sent me and that they didn't have the unit there, because I truly don't think I would have survived.
Wow.
The second I got to Mill Park, proper kitted out ICU. which is crazy to say. Like, I'm grateful I'm in a proper ICU. The nurses were like, honestly, my best friends. I mean, what those women have to go through. I have so much respect for what nurses do on a day-to-day. It is insane.
They do amazing work.
Yeah, wow. And then I remember like having this crowd and a team of doctors, cardiologists, vascular surgeon, neurologist, nephrologist, and I'm going, I don't even know what these words mean. I still don't know what lupus means. But it can't be this serious. I mean, it's me.
Yeah.
I've always been healthy. What's going on?
Where's this come from?
Where's it coming from? Yeah. And my vascular surgeon, who honestly, that man, best human being in the entire world. He has this look on his face of like, he almost looks like a heartbroken dad. And he bought the Doppler machine, which basically measures if you've got a pulse going down to your foot. So it sounds like a heartbeat almost if you're good to go. And if you're not, it just sounds like this like blank white noise. And at the time, I didn't know what was going on, but it sounded like white noise. And he had this look on his face of just like worry. And I remember I was holding my mom's hand next to me. And he looks at me and he goes, I'm going to do everything I can to try and save this foot, but I don't know. And I remember looking at my mom like, no, can't happen. I'm going into this operation and it's going to work. Went into the op and it was too dangerous to put me under anesthetic. So I remember I had like this big drip in my neck and they put a catheter in and they obviously had put some block and we did an angiogram. And my anaesthetist sat chatting to me about people we knew in common and we were having a fat conversation while they were doing whatever they needed to try and unblock. That didn't work. Next night, I went in for a bit more of like a invasive op to try reconnect everything and fix the clots. Still didn't know what was going on, but at least this operation I was sleeping. They said the op was meant to be an hour. It took 3 hours. And I mean, my poor family, what they were probably thinking, sitting waiting. I mean, I'm having a nice schloff. I don't know what's going on.
Feeling amazing.
Feeling awesome. And then the next morning, the doctor said to me, listen, it worked in the sense that your arteries are now reconnected. The blood clots are dissolved, but the tissues and the muscles are now dead. So we've got two choices. One, keep this essentially dead foot. And I mean, he sat with me for like a good 2 hours now, actually explaining what happened. So he said to me, you've got lupus. Your lupus attacks your kidneys, so you leak protein, which is why I was so inflamed. You have a blood clotting disorder, and you also have vasculitis, which basically means your blood vessels, particularly my arteries, constrict. Okay. So you had your artery shut off. It was quite cool to see. It almost looked like a tree branch that just cut off. So no blood flow to the foot, and I don't know if it was multiple clots or one clot behind my knee. And he said, so if you keep this essentially dead foot, I'm going to tell you honestly, you're going to be in excruciating pain. You're going to come back to me in a month begging me to amputate. It's also not good for your kidneys having this dead tissue attached to you. And you're an active girl. So let's rather do a nice, neat and tidy amputation. And I remember looking at him, burst out laughing. I'm like, neat and tidy amputation. What are you even talking about? Like, that can't be real. And I now completely understand it. Like, there's a specific amount of leg you need to hook on the prosthetic. And incredible work. And so, I mean, he made the decision so easy. I said, right, we're doing this. We're amputating.
So just, there's no trauma counseling? Because I can imagine understanding that losing your leg as a baby, you don't understand. But as a teenager / adult or young adult, you understand what's going on. No trauma counseling, no psychologist coming to talk to you, none of that.
So there was a psychologist.
Okay.
I must be honest, didn't work for me. He stood next to my bed. So obviously I'm lying down, and he stood there with his arms crossed and went, "So how do you feel?" And I told him, like, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't know what my life's going to look like. I'm really worried about my family and how this affects them. And he went, "No, that's all valid."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, yeah. Yeah, it is. My mom, I mean, without getting emotional, she got me through that. I mean, my mom's a Forex dealer. I think she missed her calling in life. She should have been a psychologist. She just, wow.
That's awesome. I've got goosebumps.
Yeah, no, she's...
These podcasts give me goosebumps all the time. I think all the listeners are going, "Oh, he's got goosebumps again."
He's got goosebumps.
That's all these inspirational stories.
But, yeah, I mean, having my mom, my dad, and my sister able to sit with me that night before and just talk through everything so honestly, that was the trauma counseling I needed.
Yeah, I think at that stage, there's no bullshit, eh? You can't beat around the bush.
No.
You got to say it as it is and just accept the outcome. What actually went through your head when the doctor said to you? Do you remember when he said, "Erin, you're going to lose your foot"?
I remember, this is going to sound crazy, but I just pictured those Paralympians on the TV with their blades. And I remember thinking, like, this is my path. This is what was meant to be.
Immediately at that stage.
Straight
Wow.
away. Because I just thought, you know what? There's, like, I've got this whole life that I want to live. And I don't 100% know the details of how I'm going to get there. I know nothing about prosthetics. I know nothing about living with an autoimmune. I'm going to make it work. And immediately I was setting these goals in my mind, because if I didn't set those goals, I would have slipped into the, why did this happen to me? And this isn't fair. I found a psychologist probably, I would say it was I could be so wrong, but 4 or 5 days after the amputation. And she was absolutely incredible. So there was an instance straight after the amputation where I went to the coffee shop. They finally let me into the coffee shop at the hospital, like, ooh, outing. And someone I know walked in and they gave me like the pattern shoulder and the head tilt. And they said to me, "Shame, Erie, how are you? Are you coping?" And I mean, she honestly meant it with the purest intentions ever. Like, there was no way in her mind that she was going to be mean or anything. But
yeah.
I went back and I had an appointment with my psychologist over Zoom. And I said to her, right, not happening. I need the tools to live a life where people go, "Erie, like, wow, look at you, look what you've done." I need to be...
There are people feeling sorry for you. Woe is me. Ooh.
No, like, pity party's not happening here.
There we go, yeah.
And she said to me, "You set the tone." She said, "You can lie at home and be embarrassed and hide from the world, but the harsh reality is your leg's not growing back. Your lupus is not going away. So find this new purpose in life and be confident. Allow people to ask questions, because it's not every day you see a metal leg. Yeah. It's not every day that you see someone running around on a robo leg. And so let it be a safe environment for people to ask you the questions and to go out there and make it normal. Like, let it just be, oh, Erin's here, not like, oh, the amputees walked in." So that's what I did. And I mean, my dad's a comrades runner since I can remember. And I remember I'd moved into like my own private room, and it overlooked the German school sports field.
Okay.
And we were watching all the kids running around, and I remember looking at my dad going, he also, at the time, looked like a bloody war. A war had happened in the Lazarus family, but he had a melanoma cut out. So he had this like hole in his shin, the skin graft here, the lymph nodes removed here. And I said to him, one day when we can both walk properly, we're going to walk to the coffee shop together. That is going to be my 6-month goal. And my 2-year goal, 3-year goal, however long it takes, we are going to run a marathon together one day. And so that was straight away, that was the thought process. We're going to run a marathon. We're not going to be pity party. And yeah, that was that.
So I might be wrong about this, but I don't think lupus is something widely spoken about. I don't know about other countries, but in South Africa, sitting here right now, obviously I've done my research on it, but I don't know what lupus is. Okay. And I'm sure there's a lot of listeners, male, female, that don't know what lupus is. Please give us a little background about what is lupus.
The little background.
I'm sure it's a big background, but let's do the little background.
So it's an autoimmune disease. So basically, in my non-medical understanding, it's basically your tissues attack itself.
Okay.
So it attacks people differently. So in my instance, what happens is, like for you, where your body sees the flu, your body will attack the flu.
Okay.
In me, it attacks my kidneys, thinking it's a foreign
Object
tissue
or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
So, it causes a lot of inflammation.
What brings on lupus? Is there something that brings it on? Is it just happen?
So my lupus, it's genetic, hereditary. So obviously with me, it was lying dormant and something activated.
Like cancer.
Exactly.
Okay.
It could
Like a
be
cancer cell.
something I smelt. It could be something I ate. It could be change in weather. We've got no idea.
And this can happen to someone at any age.
I mean, I hear stories of someone's at the age of 60 going, I found out last week I've got lupus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That happens, There are ways of testing it. So like my sister, every year she goes for her annual blood tests to check that.
Just like for breast cancer, you can go for tests.
Absolutely.
Or for lupus.
Yeah.
And you recommend, is it a male, female? Is it a... Anyone. Okay. So you recommend go for your tests every single year?
Absolutely. You know what I think?
Because the quicker you catch it, the better.
Absolutely. Okay. And I'm living the most healthy, active, amazing lifestyle because I'm on the correct medication. My rheumatologist who handles the lupus side of things, I promise you this man's a miracle worker. We have done the coolest amounts of treatment that made me, like everyone thinks the treatment, when you say I'm going for an 8-hour infusion, everyone's like, oh, shame. She's sick. I feel awesome after those treatments. And I pop my meds every day. I'll take blood thinners for the rest of my life. If you've got everything under control, you can live the most perfect, amazing, healthy lifestyle. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Guys, go get the test done. It's important. Okay. We talk about the foot the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm looking at it. It's higher than the foot. Why is that? Can you not just take off the foot at the ankle? How does that work?
So you can. My doctor at the time, he said to me, this is the perfect spot. So my leg ends here.
Okay.
So if I compare, So
okay. So, all right. Okay.
So they said I only needed to lose the ankle. But in order for the prosthetic to fit
properly,
nicely, bizarre concept. This is where he needed to amputate. And honestly, like going through the whole prosthetic journey with my prosthetist, they could not have done a better job. It's the craziest, coolest journey. I mean, you go online, you shop for your foot, bizarre. There's different types of feet, nuts. Then you tweak things to make it that it's comfortable for you. So it's like if you hop onto a bicycle, for example, that slight millimeter difference.
Yeah, with the saddle or the pedals.
Exact same thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so to get this blade to the correct alignment, it took some work. But once it is, I mean, now...
Does it ever change?
Yes.
Could you change? You could become skinnier, you could pick up some weight. You're not growing anymore, I don't know.
So that's the thing. I mean, firstly, like, it sounds nuts, but I'm so grateful that this happened to me when I was fully grown. So I was 24, 23, 24. You see, I've even lost track of time.
How old are you now?
27.
Okay.
So a child going through this, I mean, you need a new prosthetic every single year.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Over and above the cost.
Over and above the cost. I'm so grateful it's my left leg, not my right leg. Driving, I hop in my car, my automatic car. The left leg chills on the side.
You don't even think of that.
Exactly. It's
thinking, I was going to go, what?
I mean, I can drive without my prosthetic on. The left leg does nothing. I sit and I use my right foot and that's that. And I was driving a few weeks after the op. So they're those things that you don't even think of. I mean, a child growing up, you're getting new prosthetics all the time. If you're picking up weight, losing weight, I mean, I have stretch marks and stuff from the cortisone. I think I put on 30 kilos
From the cortisone.
from amputation until end of cortisone. And you're having to readjust the leg all the time because swollen stump, not swollen stump. You can kind of tell if you look at another amputee, you can kind of tell how long they've been an amputee based on the size of their stump.
Okay.
So like for me, I've still got quite a substantial calf muscle. The one that's left, which I can still activate, which is nuts. You point your invisible toes and your calf activates. What on earth?
That is awesome.
It's so cool. Party trick. But yeah, you're constantly chopping and changing, your adjustment changes.
And you being so active and a runner, I'm sure you do a lot of strength work. The muscles in your leg, does that affect, so your upper leg, does that affect your blade?
Absolutely. So it's a tough one.
You try not to work it. So you don't have to change your blade or adjust your blade.
But so I'm able to activate the glute and my hammy very nicely.
Okay.
But this quad shame, she's still little, tiny, and cute.
Okay.
We get in there, and as I'm running more, I'm building the quad more, and I can definitely feel the stronger I'm getting, the easier the running's getting.
Okay.
So it does play a big difference. It doesn't really affect the size of my socket. I mean, I've had this socket 2 years now,
Okay.
and it hasn't changed at all. But yeah, different in different people. So an above knee amputee will be able to activate less than I'll be able to.
Oh.
So it depends. I mean, I see amputees, I look at them and I'm like, how is your quad muscle like that? Like, teach me your tricks.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't want to work.
It's different for everyone.
Completely.
Yeah. So you literally went from the hospital bed into half marathons. Okay. What flipped that switch? That's a mental switch. Even for a person with both legs. to go from couch to 5K to 10K to 21K.
Yeah.
What flipped that switch?
Sure. So I had set my mind on this marathon. And I completely underestimated what that entails. Like, now I fully get how difficult that actually is. But growing up, my dad just every year went and ran comrades like it was nothing. He didn't train for it. He didn't, in my mind. My dad was always home.
I promise you he was training.
No, he was definitely
He was waking up at 4 a.m.
But like in my mind, I woke up for school. My dad was there. And then in June, we would go to Mshlanka. He would run comrades, and that was that. So for me, like a 90K seemed normal. And so when I'm lying in the hospital bed, I'm going, 42Ks, can't be that bad. I mean, I'm athletic, so should be fine. No, it's a different ball game. Anyway, so it was probably about a year of getting used to just my walking leg and getting rid of I call it my pimp limp. I still pimp limp. There's no getting rid of it.
I love that.
Especially at the end of the day when you get tired.
I feel like we need a rap song there for that.
But yeah, so then I got the blade probably about a year later. And honestly, to get to 1K was like next to impossible. And I'm looking at all these other amputees. I mean, I've got a friend who just ran the UTMB on his prosthetic leg. And I'm like,
Saw that.
what on earth? How? And I actually saw him, so Turbo Trav and Millie Pickles, running. And I'm going, guys, I'm complaining about 1K. Like, they proving to me it's possible. So I'm going to do it. And my dad, I mean, he's my running partner. So beyond patient and figuring out what works for my leg, what doesn't, when I need to stop, what's going to make it easier. And we just built up slowly. So I started with a 5K run on Stompy's birthday. So the word stump, the doctors would call it the stump in hospital. And I'm like, oh, cringe, stump. No, not happening. So we'll call it Stompy.
So it's named Stompy.
It's got a name, Stompy. And every year on the 15th of January, on Stompy's birthday, we do something to celebrate. I didn't want it to be like the sad day of, oh, shame, she lost her leg. And we did a Stompy birthday run. 5K run. It was my first ever 5K run coming back from the amputation. And I remember thinking like, okay, I've done 5. Now we're going to do 10. So I've got to do that twice. Like, no. How?
Okay, well, what is it painful or is it stiffness? What is it?
I think it's a combination of quite a few things. So the biggest thing is I wasn't strong enough for it.
Okay.
I needed to do way more bio. I needed to do all my exercises and stop saying I was doing the exercises and actually do the
So
exercises.
actually all your muscles are lazy now. Yeah.
Conditioning and just spending time in the blade is a big thing.
Okay.
My fitness as well. I mean, I've been sitting doing very little, so there was that. And I think it was also this mental shift of you can do 5Ks. Now you can do 10.
Yeah.
It's possible. Just get up and do it and build slowly. And then we did a 10K run for charity. And I think it also puts this pressure on, like, you're the face of it now. You can't not do it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to prove to everybody that you've told you're going to do 10Ks to, that you're going to do 10Ks.
You're accountable now.
Exactly. Yeah. And it took us very, very long, but I had this group with me that, I mean, for most of them, running 4.5, 5-minute Ks is like casual. And they were running 8.5-minute Ks with me, walking most of the run. And I fell in love with the running community, and it made me want to carry on. Even though it was painful, even though it was hard, I just fell in love with the fact that people aren't doing it for them only. They are then, every single person is fighting their own battle in some way. And for me, you can see the battle I'm fighting. It's visible, and people are nicer to me because of that. Whereas most people don't look like they've got something going on.
Fighting the silent battle.
Exactly.
Which is worse.
100%. And it just made me realize that I've got more to give, and this is going to unlock a different purpose in me. So let's build slowly. Let's see how far this can go.
So over and above the foot now, you still got to run with Lupus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which also takes a lot of courage. Okay. How did that affect the running?
I must be honest, the running has affected Lupus in the most positive way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went for my bloods. So I go and I see my doctor every 6 months, which I'm lucky enough, it is only 6 months, even though I love him and I could see him every day. But ever since starting running, my blood work, it's like a completely different person. Like, the lupus is pretty much undetectable because of it. I promise you, the healthy lifestyle.
And you give it 90% of that, you say it's because of running.
100%. I think it's a ripple effect.
Okay.
Because I'm running, I'm eating better, I'm more energetic, and I think it just all affects the lupus better. I also find, so they say with lupus, try to stay out the sun as much as you possibly can. Obviously with running.
Yes, I've heard that, and that was my next question actually. How's running? I mean, running a marathon in 5-6 hours in the sun.
Yeah. It's not great. And the doctors will probably say, stay out the sun, Erin, stop. I put my suntan lotion on as much as I possibly can. And
you run with suntan lotion? Yeah.
Yeah. And I, honestly, like, I'm so lucky. Lupus doesn't affect my skin. It does in certain people.
Okay.
I feel so good. Like, being in the sun, running in the heat makes me feel better than in the cold, because obviously my circulation is more affected. I think the running affects my circulation in a better way. I don't know. The running, I think, has solved my lupus symptoms.
So let's quickly talk running achievements. So we haven't even touched on that yet. So we've done a 21K, obviously. We've done a 42. Anything after that?
Sticking to the 42.
Okay, so we're not at the ultras yet.
No.
Yet.
No.
I'm going to say yes. Say yet. Say yet.
Supporting comrades this year made me say no.
But it's harder to support. I've done comrades 3 times.
Yeah.
It's harder to 3.5 times. I did 1 DNF. And my poor wife and my kids. It's not easy. And us comrades runners can be arseholes too. If you're not at that spot, there's a problem. I want to see my family at 70 Ks.
Yeah.
So it's harder to support. So is that maybe an option one day?
Maybe. I think once you've trained for a marathon and once you've gone through a marathon, your understanding of what actually gets put in. So that misconception that I had of my dad just goes and runs a comrades is so false. Like running London
I
Marathon.
wish it was true.
Yeah, I wish. And you do get those people that just get up and run 10Ks. It's annoying. But yeah, I mean, running London made me have this whole flip of like, 42 is far. It's really, really far. I do think as time goes on, I'm going to get more used to being on the blade for that long. Like now, 21 seems normal.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Yeah, so I think I've hit my happy place of running 21s and 42s for now. So we've got Cape Town coming up in 6 weeks. And then I got into London again next year, which is so exciting.
Yay.
I can't wait. Yeah, so I think my goal right now is I want to do all the majors. That would be insane.
Tick them all off.
Tick them all off. Just, you see the world in just such a different way. Running a race in a foreign country is
the best way to see the world.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm happy for now. But it's going to take one person to say, I dare you to run it, and I'll probably say, oh, okay.
Okay, I won't do it now. So you spoke about, you realized training for a marathon is not easy, okay? For a person with both feet, both legs, whatever we want to call it, it's not easy. What do you think differs to your training to a normal person with both legs?
I think it's probably the pain management aspect in the leg, and it's different for different amputees. But yeah, for me, I'm so lucky I don't sweat as much as other amputees. Like Stompy doesn't sweat much. Other amputees you see every 5-10 Ks, they have to take their liner off and it's like this puddle of sweat.
Ah, gee, so it's a problem too.
Yeah, so
all these things that don't even cross my mind, yeah.
Because you don't need to. Yeah, it's so I'm very, very lucky about that. So that for another amputee is a big thing to manage. For me, I get really bad, like tight muscles almost behind my knee. And I sometimes cramp in my calf.
Okay.
Especially up hills. So everyone's saying, you need to practice hills, you need to practice hills. And yes, I absolutely do. And I shy away from a hill as much as I can. But
all of us.
They're not fun. Anyone that likes hills are...
That bullshitting.
I'm worried about you. But if I'm cramping, I need to stop. So for someone else, you just got to stretch the calf. I mean, it's a different ball game for me to stretch this calf. And yeah, so it's definitely the leg management side is much... It's different. I don't know if it's harder because I don't have to worry about my toes cramping. I don't have to worry about Achilles pain. The other thing people don't maybe know is you get phantom pain.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm running and I'll go, my ligaments. And my dad's like, huh?
What ligaments?
What are you talking about? I'm like, this ankle, I promise you, it's killing me. So it's actual pain, but there's nothing you can do about it. Your brain is, the nerves that are still in your brain.
Oh, there. They're not there.
You switch that off.
It's interesting, eh?
Yeah.
The mind is a powerful thing, eh? So powerful.
Crazy.
Do you ever look at the blade and think this has become a superpower?
Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, there are days where, so I see myself from here down. If I look at myself in the mirror without the prosthetic on and I just see like the leg, I still get a fright. I must be honest. I'm like, whoa, no thanks. That's like, it's a bit of a shock. But when I look at myself in the mirror with my prosthetic and my blade, I'm like, that's badass.
That is badass.
I think like, I mean, to give you an example, 2 weeks ago, we ran a 21 in Wonders. And it was, I mean, that was harder than London by far. It was, sure, I was not a happy camper. But I remember looking down at my leg and going like, I'm cramping. I've been cramping for 21 Ks. I'm not happy. I'm sore. I'm irritable. I want to quit. I want to go home. But I remember thinking, I'm still doing this despite everything. Like, I'm running a really hard 21, and I'm just running in general. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 100 meters. Like, I'm running with Lupus on a blade. I'm so proud of myself. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I look at the blade, I look at like everything that I've gone through, and I'm just proud of coming out on the other side okay. Because that's the biggest thing. I mean, when something like this happens to you, you just want to be okay.
On that note, if someone out there is feeling broken, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, they're feeling broken, depressed, anxiety, all those things that we'll have to live with and deal with.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Because you tell yourself that every day when you wake up, there must be dark days. You tell yourself something to get through those dark days.
Yeah.
Give us that secret.
So for me, it depends. I think most of the time I let myself have the bad day, and I feel sorry for myself, and I cry, and I let it out, and I'm so lucky I've got the family support that I do. And I'll sometimes come and I chat to my boyfriend. I'm like, don't know why this happened, and I'm feeling so down, and this is so horrible. And I just allow myself to literally sit on the couch for the rest of the day and feel so sorry for myself, because I know the next morning I'm going to bounce back. And I've had my bad day, and tomorrow is going to be a good day. And sometimes it's completely faking it, and I still feel crappy the next morning. But sometimes faking it and just getting out there snaps me out of it. For me, gymming and running also, it's like a complete escape.
It's a drug.
So, yeah.
It's a drug to make you happy. It really is. It's a good drug.
100%.
So you told the story about promising your dad to run the marathon with him. Tell us that feeling when it actually happened. Because that is an amazing story.
Yeah. Very emotional. And I'm a sucker for an emotional situation. So it started off the morning of, I wrote him a letter. So he was sobbing before we went to the race. So I start the day off on a bit of a sentimental note. It was also crazy because the London Marathon started for us at 11:30 in the morning. So I got up at 6:30. I had a slow breakfast. It was just the nicest start to the day. Then as a family, we all, so me and my dad were matching outfits. That was the first thing. And I got You Set the Tone put onto our outfits.
I love that.
We then got hoodies for the whole family. So my sister, her boyfriend, my best friend, my boyfriend, and my mom. Got them all matching hoodies. You Set the Tone with a little foot on the corner. So it was so cute because we all went on the tube together, and just this vibe of like everyone going to the same place. I mean, the city, everybody
comes to a standstill, I believe.
Completely. It is like honestly what everyone describes, and 10 times more. We then got access to the accessibility tent. So sitting with, I mean, you had people in wheelchairs. There was this Down syndrome boy. I have never seen someone so excited to run a race in my whole life. He got us all pumped. He kept coming around and high-fiving us and warming up with everybody. Like this excitement to run 42 kilometers. I have never been more excited to do anything in my entire life. Just kept like saying to my dad, like, can we go already? I just want to start this. So we started the run, and I mean, that look on his face. So it was my dad's first international marathon as well. Just seeing his face of like, I'm doing this with my little girl. We're fulfilling our promise. It was the most special.
I'm getting emotional.
It is, yeah, I mean, incredible. I knew I was going to see my family at about 22 Ks. And I saw them, and I just like all the emotions hit of like, we're actually doing this. Like, well, this was the promise, the little girl lying in the hospital bed. This is what somehow sprang to mind. And like, here we are, we're doing a world major, doing it with my dad. Like, how lucky to even be able to run with your dad. I've got my entire family here. I got my best friend who lives in the UK. Like, she's here. It just, like, the only feeling is, like, heartwarming. It was so beyond special. I then left them at 22 Ks. I was going to see them again at 34. Those kilometers between 22 and 34 were, like, the definition of hitting the wall. I was just, and you ran through a Canary Wharf, which, like, you may as well be running through Sandton. Nothing really to see. And I stopped at this bench and I was adjusting my leg and giving it a wipe and everything. I just looked at my dad and he's just staring around like, I don't care if this takes us 8 hours. I'm doing London Marathon. Well, I was a sobbing wreck. Could not stop crying. I was like, I'm trying to run. I'm trying to cry. I can't breathe. I then messaged my boyfriend and I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, we're actually doing this. He's crying. He's sending voice notes of him crying. FaceTiming my other friend, like, we're doing it. It was just so beyond emotional. I then saw my family at 34 Ks and my family from the UK surprised us and they were also there. Gave my mom a hug. That was me. I was done. I don't think I've ever cried that much in my whole life.
Wow.
Like, getting to experience that with my mom as well. Then my sister's holding my hand. And one thing about my sister is she doesn't do well with emotions. She cries. I mean, she laughs in really awkward moments. So my mom just allows me to cry. She's like my psychologist. I'm hugging her. I'm crying. My dad's having the time of his life. My boyfriend's got this smile on his face like, I'm so proud. I can't believe you're doing this. And my sister is making me die of laughter. It was like so many emotions all at once. I was so overstimulated.
A huge roller coaster.
I was like, oh my word. And then my dad said to me, this was at about 34. No, I lied. We saw them at 36 Ks. He's like, Erin, do you realize you've got less than 10 Ks left? And there was this like switch of, I can run 10 Ks. That's easy. It doesn't matter what I've done.
Kicking in.
And the crowd there was literally a crowd from start to finish, but the crowd from 36 to the end, it was like 10 people deep and screaming, shouting like I've never. I switch shoes, start running, my calf starts cramping, but it was like this sharp.
Like a knife going into your calf.
Yes. And I thought, well, I'm injured, but it's okay because this was the goal. So if I'm injured now, it doesn't matter. But so my dad says to me, I promise you, it's fine. You're not injured. Just stretch quickly. Let's get going. And he was just so patient with me. Like, you would think a comrades runner. I mean, I said to him the other day, how many marathons have you run? He's like, I don't know, too many to count. What? But you would think he'd be pushing me to get a better time and to get to the, and he just said, take it in.
It wasn't about that. I'm with my daughter.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Exactly. So anyway, we kept going and the crowd just kept picking me up. Every time I was feeling like this is hard. There was no moment in that race where I thought, I'm not doing this, I'm stopping. Like, I was getting to the end. But I looked to the side and I see this girl with this gazonka, like ginormous medal. And it's gold and it's shiny. And I'm going,
I want that.
I'm getting that medal. And she looks at me and she says, go get your medal. And I look at her, I said, that medal looks good on you. Well, I don't know. It was like, you know, in the movies when you press like the nitro, something happened.
Fast and Furious.
I just felt like I was moving and probably moving. And then I thought that was it. I thought like I wouldn't see my family again. And we come around the corner. I didn't see Buckingham Palace the days before because I wanted the first time I see Buckingham Palace to be at the end of the marathon. I was looking at Buckingham Palace. I'm like, yes, this thing is huge. That's beautiful. And then I see my family. And now I'm sobbing again.
Because this is the end.
It's just like going down like the last little straight. I'm holding my dad's hand and we go over the finish line, hands in the air, like, woo, we did it. And I kind of expected, because I think there were like 56,000 runners. I expected to have like, here's your medal next. Here's your medal next. Like, you know how at some races they just dish out. And each and every volunteer, like they come, they put this ginormous, and it's heavy, this medal on you, and it's like, I deserve this. I worked for this. I can't believe I've got this. Like, I just ran a marathon. And they take the time to look at you and say, well done, how was that?
They look into your eyes, they're present, they're there.
And it doesn't matter how many people are waiting, but like, they make you feel like this is your medal. You just won and run a marathon.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it was incredible. And then all the pain hits you.
But that pain's worth it.
So worth it.
When you wake up the next morning, it's worth it.
It's amazing. And it was also so cool for me to see like a world major marathon and their organization. It's mind-blowing. I mean, my family was there, so we didn't put bags or tog bags through, but they have labeled each tog bag in numbers, and they've got like this row of like 1 kilometer long of tracks, and they're calling you if your bib number matches the number on the tog bag in that specific, so I think it goes like in numerical order, whatever. Erin, your bag should be here. And I'm like, what? I expected it to be like this chaos.
Yeah.
So organized, so calm. I was ready to take my leg off and smack someone because I was in so much pain, and now I'm walking. But also like the care for disability there. Erin, can we help you? Do you need anything? Would you like to start at the front of the batch? Would you like to start at the back of the batch? Like, let us know what you need. Then they've got A to Z of where you can meet your family. So I think we decided on the letter R. Why? I don't know. Finally, we get to the letter R, and I phone my boyfriend. I'm like, where are you? I'm not walking anymore. Where are you? I need my walking leg. Shame they got caught coming around from Buckingham Palace to the back. It was probably about 3-4 Ks. But exactly like you say, when you're running and the support is not there, when you need them there.
No, same thing, yeah.
But that feeling of like finally sitting down and having my people with me, taking the leg off, having this medal, like, it was so special. And like looking at my dad, like, you just did that.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And then the bug bit bad.
Yeah, that bug always bites, eh? That bug always bites. But I love that story so much. I want you to tell us, before I've got a final question for you, a bit about your charities. And what are you doing? How people can get involved? Please take us through that.
Sure. Yeah. So there's a few. So yeah, I'm now working at the Bowen Foundation, which is just like, what an honor that your full-time job and your full-time focus can be working with charity. So basically we do sports development, education, and charity. So been career days to help get youngsters at schools to know that there's a life out there, and these are the different types of careers. And it's not your CA, lawyer, doctor. Like there's a job working in foundations. Like that's a job. So there's that we've been doing.
And it's more fulfilling.
It's way more fulfilling. We're doing like a learn to swim program, which that's the one that I think probably touches me the most. You're teaching someone who doesn't know how to swim a basic life skill.
Yeah.
And preventing drowning. I mean,
swimming should be like walking.
Absolutely. So yeah, getting to be part of that's amazing. So there's the Bowen Foundation. Then there's Rejuvenate SA, who started by an amputee, Turbo Trav. I love how I call him Turbo Trav. That's just his Instagram. Travis.
I love that name, Turbo Trav.
Trav. And honestly, I mean, he's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. So for him to start a charity to give people mobility aids, from wheelchairs to kitting their houses out so that the wheelchair is accessible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more special than seeing a little child get a prosthetic leg and run. I mean, every time that can get anyone crying. Doesn't matter who you are. It's just, it's so special and so powerful. So that's Rejuvenate SA. And then TNT, Trojans Neurological Trust, and they are the charity linked to the bio that I go to. So it's people who have had some neurological condition get the care that they need, whether that's bio, OT, physio, speech therapy. So, I mean, I'm there. I'm doing my rehab. and someone's walking in an exoskeleton, someone who is unable to walk, is getting the freedom of standing up straight.
Wow, that's amazing. We take life for granted, eh?
Yeah, no,
It's actually so crazy how we take life for granted. And guys, please, if you want to get involved in any charities, can they DM you on Instagram?
pleasure.
All Erin's details, you can reach out to the Endure Edge. We'll connect you to Erin at any time, please. Final question.
Yeah.
Okay, before we close this.
That's a scary, naughty smile.
I like the final questions because I like to try and go deep in with them.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to remember the amputee became a marathon runner.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back years from now, what do you want people to remember about Erin Lazarus?
Just someone who took a bad situation and just got up. Doesn't need to be a marathon. That's not it at all. I want people to look back and think that if she can do it, I can go for a 1K walk. I can get up and do something active, whether that's go outside and just enjoy being outside. Just if I can make that positive impact on one person, then losing my leg and having lupus is worth it. That's all I want to be remembered for.
Erin, you are a powerful inspiration. I don't even have words for you. Like, thank you for being you. Don't stop what you're doing. Keep running. I want to see you at a comrade start. We can do it together. Apparently there's the 100th coming in, not this year, the next year in 2027. Maybe. I dare you. There we go. I've said it. Guys, this is Erin Lazarus. If she can do what she's doing, you got no excuse to do what you're doing. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.